Hey y'all, I am Coach Bree from the Women of Nutrition, and we are bringing you a series of holiday season party prep videos and tips. I'm here to talk to you about party booze. And since that is the topic, clearly I'm not going to spend 5 minutes talking to you about just drinking water. But you should know that if you're going to drink a lot, it's probably going to derail your goals, right? And your health. So here are some tips for better options for party season. So this first list covers a pretty wide variety of lighter drink options. If you're the person that's going to have several drinks for each social event, then you do want to consider the impact of not only the alcohol, but the empty calories that you're going to consuming. We love to feed our clients well, but there's very little physical health benefit from alcohol calories. There might be a mental health benefit, but just something to consider. So these are some good choices. This list is going to be your higher calorie, maybe higher fat and sugar options for beverages. Choose less often, but if you really want one, get it, savor it, maybe don't have five. Okay. One of my personal favorites is to alternate with a tasty club soda and a wedge of lime because this helps with hydration. It tastes better than bar tap water and is usually free if you have a booze tab going. This is also my late night choice. It's a great option for those of you who feel pressured by your friends to keep drinking late at night. Switch to this. It looks like a cocktail, right? Problem solved. You feel much better the next day too. So I was just at a party and someone made some of these adorable red and green Jello shots, right? So my first inclination is to grab one. And then I kind of look at it and I'm like, I don't want anything that has these bright artificial colors in them because they cause horrible things to your body. So the one that I grabbed, I gave to my husband and he ate it anyway. But truth be told, there are multiple studies out there that prove that these artificial artificial colors cause cancer. They cause brain dysfunction in lab rats, and they are FDA approved. So just because they're FDA approved does not mean that you should consume them. Most other countries have banned these artificial colors in foods. So another toxin to pass up when you are planning your cocktails this holiday season are drinks and drink mixers with artificial sweeteners. They are like thousands of times sweeter than regular sugar, so they actually trick your brain into thinking that you have sugar, which triggers an insulin response. Insulin is essentially the fat storage hormone, so you don't want fake sugars triggering you to store more fat, right? Um, it even makes you more hungry because your body gets this fake sugar and it thinks it's real sugar. So it just makes you more hungry. There was a population study of 200% increased risk of obesity in diet soda drinkers. So let's not be a part of that statistic. Just have the real thing, but just don't have too much. So if you're hosting a party, please skip the cans of soda and try a big batch of mocktail. This is a really popular option at my parties, and people that don't drink will appreciate your efforts. Mocktails don't have to be pumped full of syrupy mixers. You can just start with a simple soda water and add a splash of cranberry and a citrus wedge and maybe a sprig of fresh herbs like thyme, rosemary, or basil. Look how pretty. Here are a couple of homemade winter drink options for you to try out. This one's especially near and dear to my heart because one of my all-time favorite trips was to Prague. And in the Christmas markets there, they sell hot mulled wine. And you can just walk around town with a cup of hot mulled wine. It's awesome. This recipe is naturally lower in calories, and it's really special to me. If you are hosting a cold weather party, you can use up all that mediocre wine that people bring you as gifts. It does require just a little few ingredients here, and then you want to just simmer on the stove. You don't want it to boil because then it boils off the alcohol. Here is another option for those whiskey lovers. How about a hot toddy? Just a touch of natural sweetener makes this a great warmer for cold nights. And even Harvard Medical School says it helps relieve a cold. And who are we to disagree with Harvard? All right, last tip, and maybe the most important, is how to avoid a hangover. Number one, hair of the dog. The notion that hangovers are a form of alcohol withdrawal, so a drink or two will ease the withdrawal. Again, this is brought to you by the Harvard Medical School, so I think maybe they have some alcoholics on board, but I'm taking their advice today. Second is hydration. Alcohol promotes urination because it inhibits the release of vasopressin, which is the hormone that decreases the volume of urine made by the kidneys, right? That's why you're always feeling dehydrated. So chug some water with electrolytes, not Gatorade though. You see my previous slide about artificial colors. Next step, having a balanced meal. Drinking can lower your blood sugar levels, so you want to get some carbohydrates in to help bring that blood sugar back up, but you want to balance it out with proteins and fats as well. Most of us know by now that darker liquor contains compounds that may cause a worse hangover. It's because it chemically relates to methanol. Apparently that's not good for you. Who would have thought? Vitamins. So alcohol depletes the B vitamins in your system, which can lead to fatigue. They can irritate your stomach and intestines, which contributes to things like nausea and vomiting. But take these before you drink because you want to have those extra vitamins in your stomach before they get depleted, so that way you don't wake up feeling like trash. Last and most least, the only way to avoid a hangover is to avoid drinking so much. It's shocking, isn't it? Anyway, we hope you enjoyed these tips. Have a safe and healthy holiday season.